It's back. A renewed push for Medicare for all is just hitting. Take a look at the headlines that have just been coming out. Bernie Sanders and AOC revive Medicare for all push. This just came out on the 9th, and we're hearing that something has got to be done. There's 64 million Americans that are depending on this, and it is facing a solvency crisis here very soon, along with Social Security, which is why we've heard that 2023 is going to be the year of Social Security reform, and we are seeing bills and legislation being proposed left and right to reform everything. And take a look, you guys, coming out from Money, Medicare hospital insurance benefits, aka Medicare Part A, is expected to fully pay out until the year 2031, and that is subject to change. It could be sooner than that, but after which point we're hearing full benefits will not be able to be paid out. And this is the same thing that we're facing with Social Security right now. So something has got to be done. Now, I'm going to be diving into the details of what AOC and Bernie Sanders are proposing, but some people are skeptical about this new push. Now, in addition to that, the Biden administration, they have proposed what they would like to see done. Take a look directly from the fact sheet from this year, the president's budget, extending Medicare solvency by 25 years or more, strengthening Medicare, and lowering healthcare costs. I'm going to give you all the details as to what they're saying needs to be done. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned, Social Security, this is the year of reform, and there is new legislation and bills coming out and new data about raises that could be on the way for COLA and also just across the board. Stick around to the end for some updates on that. And if you have not been filing your taxes and have missed out on the assortment of different stimulus provisions that went out over the course of the pandemic, you have got very little time left to make sure that you collect those benefits before it expires. New information just released last week from the IRS. Do not miss it. Stick around to the end for some updates on that as well. But you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on this new revived push for Medicare for all and what is exactly taking place and what is being said. Now, before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, don't forget, very quickly, smash the like button. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. To stay up to date on everything going on, it's totally free. Why not just hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so as always, link in the description below to this article. I always cite the sources, so that way you know it's the latest. You can click it and go read it for yourself. I put it on the screen and read right from it, so that way you can see that this is the latest. Now, this article says, even when Democrats had full control of the federal government, they didn't push to enact Medicare for all. Wow, very strong point there. Let me know your thoughts. They originally had full control with the Biden administration, the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and they did not push for Medicare for all, which was a long-cherished goal, they said, of the hard left. But now we've got a divided Congress, and there's this new push coming out. Now with the House under Republican control, a single-payer national health insurance system is just a legislative pipe dream. Now, that is the opinion of this particular author. They're saying that it is very unlikely that both sides will come together and get an agreement to get this pushed through. However, we are, as we mentioned, dealing with the solvency issue for Social Security and Medicare, and something has got to be done. So hopefully they will be able to see that there are literally tens of millions of Americans that are depending on these fixed income benefits, and they've got to do something. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date. Yet with the 2024 elections less than a year and a half off, it's again emerging as a prominent and ambitious goal for Senator Bernie Sanders and significant number of House representative allies. So they're also saying that elections are right around the corner, and as you know, when elections come around, so does legislation proposing things that people would like to see. It's kind of like they like to drop a little reminder that, hey, I'm getting things done right before it's time to decide whether or not they should stay in their position in Congress. It comes amid bitter budget and debt ceiling battles between President Joe Biden and Senate Democrats on one side, facing off against the narrow House Republican majority. Under these circumstances, enacting even the most basic laws to keep the government funded and running is a challenge. And that's nothing compared to the transformational healthcare bill that can be so politically toxic. Congressional Democrats excluded it when, in 2010, they enacted then President Barack Obama's signature domestic achievement, Obamacare. Still, Sanders recently renewed his Medicare for all push for the plan, along with 14 Senate Democrats and 110 House Democrats. Now, the current healthcare system in the United States is totally broken, dysfunctional, and cruel, Sanders wrote in the Guardian op-ed. It is long overdue for us to end the international embarrassment of the United States being the only major country on earth that does not guarantee healthcare for all of our people. There is some truth in the statement almost 1 in 10 adults has medical debts, and healthcare inequity disproportionately affects low-income and minority communities. But Sanders tends to disregard other research on the effects of a national health system. According to Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, or the CBO, Medicare for All would create a shortage of providers, longer wait times, and changes in the quality of care. Moreover, Chuck Blauhaus, senior research strategist from the Mercatus Center of George Mason University, said the plan would cost somewhere between $32.6 trillion to $38.8 trillion over the course of 10 years. Nonetheless, Democrats believe they know best. The newest push for the bill follows previous proposals: comprehensive health benefits for every person in the United States with no networks, premiums, deductibles, or co-pays. Coverage would include primary care, vision, dental, prescriptions, mental health, substance abuse, long-term care, and reproductive health. If enacted, the proposal would phase in the universal healthcare model over 4 years. However, even with the new plan taken by many Democrats as doctrine, there is still rifts, as we're hearing that some Democrats, they don't really support Medicare for all, according to Representative AOC. I do believe that when push comes to shove, the number of people that are willing to really fight for Medicare for all is probably less than the number of co-sponsors on that bill. Frankly, even if we had a floor vote on it, because of the lack of prospects in the Senate, I also think there would be a lot of disingenuous votes for it when people know that it's going to the graveyard. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, but let's take a look at the president's proposal. Here is a fact sheet press release that came out from the White House back in March of 2023. And in here, you're going to be seeing some of the things that they're suggesting to help out with Medicare. Now, the first thing, it says extending Medicare's solvency. So they want to address this issue and extend it out for at least an additional 25 years. And the budget extends the life of Medicare by doing the following, according to his proposal. They want to modestly increase the Medicare tax rate on income above $400,000. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because they have the same guidelines for Social Security as well. And they want to increase it from the 3.8% to 5% as well. So increasing the taxes and making sure that everybody over $400,000 is paying into this. They want to close loopholes in existing Medicare taxes and dedicate the Medicare net investment income tax to the HI trust fund, which means that high-income people are supposed to pay a 3.8% Medicare tax on all of their income, but some high-paid professionals and other wealthy business owners have managed to shield some of their income from being taxed, claiming it is neither earned income nor investment income. They want to change that. Crediting savings from prescription drug reform to the HI trust fund as well. Now, those are some of the ways to address the solvency issue, but in addition to that, they also want to lower costs for beneficiaries, lower out-of-pocket costs for drugs subject to negotiation, $2 cost sharing for generic drugs for chronic conditions, and lowering behavioral health care costs in Medicare. Now, again, I will go ahead and link this in the description below for you. This is directly from the White House, so you can see it for yourself on their priorities for addressing Medicare. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned, Social Security. Right now, there are new bills coming out for reform. Looks like the Social Security 2100 Act is coming to the forefront, and that is also proposing that they increase benefits by a substantial amount for those receiving the minimum payments. Now, to get the latest on that, be sure to check out this video right here. And also, we've got updates on potential COLA increases for 2024, and it's not looking good. And also, as I mentioned, we just received word from the IRS that if you have missed out and still not received a lot of the stimulus provisions you were supposed to get, you have a limited amount of time to collect on those. Check out these videos right here next to get the latest on that. But with that being said, you guys, I'll keep you up to date on Medicare, Social Security, stimulus, everything going on, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.